What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Vikings franchise series. Today we are on episode 43, and we are here for the big matchup against the San Francisco 49ers. It should be a pretty good matchup. I'm assuming it's going to be a tough one, but this is what makes the series fun, right? You know, having these challenges and taking on these opponents that we don't really know what's going to happen. You know, what's the fun in just winning? Or, you know, I don't know. I just enjoy the challenge, even if it makes me want to pull my hair out sometimes. But before we get to the video, I did want to go over a couple of storylines since I started going through some of the other teams and making decisions on their rosters. The first few I want to talk about are contracts that are coming due and the players have opted out of signing. One of them being Rams corner Jalen Ramsey, who is currently a 98 overall, really a 99, but because of the bad state of the team, his morale has dropped a little bit. He's 30 years old now, and he's on a contract year. And given what Aaron Donald did previously, he does not want to return to the team. So I'm not sure if that's going to come in the form of a trade or if he is just going to ride off into free agency. But we will find out shortly because we only have a few weeks left before the trade deadline. Another player that is not being re-signed is Yetur Gross-Matos. I probably said his name wrong. Oh, man. But this is a sort of a different scenario. The Panthers have decided not to bring him back. Considering, they're seeing the same draft class we're seeing, they know that defensive end is highly touted in this draft class, and there's plenty of them to be had. So instead of paying him, who's 27 years old now, they're gonna move on, and they're gonna try to bring in somebody new to replace him next season. And the last one that I have for you guys so far is Grady Jarrett of the Green Bay Packers. They will not be bringing him back for a couple of reasons. One, you can see here, he has been hurt this year, and they have other players on the roster. Also, of course, his contract is coming due. With his age, injury, and again, this draft class, it makes no sense for the team to really bring him back when they're going to be having a few bigger contracts coming forward for all of their drafted guys in the next year or two. So Grady Jarrett will be a free agent at the end of this season. And now on to the re-signings. Not too many of them so far that are newsworthy anyway, but the one big one was James Street, the defensive tackle for the Lions, an 89 overall now, superstar X Factor. He re-signed on an 8-year, $86 million extension to stay with Detroit. And that just means that this defensive line is going to be expensive soon because, of course, they still have Connor Johnston, who came, I think, a year after him. That's going to be coming up soon, and he is also a superstar, if not an X Factor. So Detroit starting to keep their younger talents so they can build up the rest of this team. They're currently sitting at 3-2 if you guys did not know that. So things are starting to turn around a little bit for them. And then our last two is a pair of guys that we'll actually be facing this week. First one is Nick Bosa, 27 years old, 99 overall, almost 99 across the board. He is so good. He re-signed as well. He is getting a 4-year extension worth $102 million. These contracts are getting high, but you know what that means? It just shows that these teams are not going to be able to just sign anybody like you can if you're normally playing. I think I've done a pretty good job of spreading those contracts out and doing those kind of things, and now we're going to start to see teams having to make decisions. Of course, you can't let a guy like Nick Bosa go. He's just 27 years old. He's one of the best players in this franchise series on any team. So good to see him get a contract. And it's got me a little concerned about what Danielle Hunter's going to want next time he's up. And then the second and last one from the 49ers is George Kittle, 99 overall tight end. Again, 99 almost across the board, similar to Nick Bosa. He is re-signed on just a 2-year deal for $35 million. Tight end is not as highly sought after in, the contract world, but I made sure to make it worthy of a guy his caliber. And I shortened it by a couple of years just because he is already 31, and who knows what the team's going to want to do in a couple of years from now. There's also a trade that I am eyeing up for us that I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks now, and this goes back to my draft strategy when it came to Clayton Jenkins, and then also, that defensive end that I was trying to eye up, somebody like Dom Cooks, right? I want a guy that is more of in between both inside and outside, and sort of across the board a balanced player that we can just use to rotate whichever position we need help on. And this guy stuck out to me, Kevin Menical. Now, Menical is currently backing up Max Crosby, who is, well, obviously a much better player than him. Chances are he's not going to get much of a chance to play, and I mean, obviously, even with us, he's not really going to either. But I at least have an idea of what I want for the future, and I want to try to make a move for him. And I don't want to leave the Raiders without a younger guy. So what I was thinking of doing to land him was trading away Donovan Turner. Now, Turner is our third defensive tackle. We have guys similar to him in Devontae Coleman and Marcus Ware. And we have TJ Slayton as well here, who is our sort of our big guy, the 340-pounder. And if I'm going to be keeping Medical on the team, then that means we're going to have to find a way to get rid of somebody, right? And I don't want to get rid of Brayman or Barrett. I don't want to get rid of Slayton because he provides that bigger body on the line if we so need it. So, and since Turner is actually in a contract year, I thought maybe this would be a pretty good swap. You know, Turner is a 73, 75 with TMP. Medical is a 74. It's pretty much a wipe across the board for these two players. And, you know, I think that's what I want to try to do. Looking at them side by side like this, you can see that he is one overall better. They're the same age, the same dev. They just play two different positions. So because of that, I think what I'll do is we already have gotten rid of our 7th. So let me offer a 6th round pick with him as well. Because I'm not going to give up like a 4th or 5th, because honestly, it's one overall difference. Everything else about them is the exact same. It's just Medical has got an extra year in his contract, and he fits what I want better. And this also allows me to sort of double down on Clayton Jenkins and try my best to get him in the draft next year to be our number 1 corner. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, man, I said it. I remember I think it was the Bucks who drafted a guy in the first round, who ended up being a 6'3". He ended up being, 90 plus speed. And I'm like, man, I want that so bad for this team. And if Jenkins is close to that, and even if it's not Jenkins, there's Leland Hunter, and then there's also, I believe, Roy Binns is his name. All three of them first round graded talents, 6'3", at corner. I want one of them. And I know I can't get both. I can't get the lineman, and I can't get, him. This way I can still get a young lineman. It takes away one of the areas that I desperately want to look at in the draft and opens us up to a better rotation on our defensive line. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this trade through. There we go. And of course, it's going to be accepted because I'm on everybody's profile. I did do the Daddy Leagues thing anyway, just to make sure. And these guys were pretty much dead even when it came to points. But with the 6th, it says technically that I am giving up more than I necessarily need to, but it's not by much. It's by like 20 points. So I thought this was a good move. It helps both squads out. And yeah, we end up getting the guy that we wanted, and we still have 1 through 5th as our picks. So there you have Kevin Medical, now a left end for us. I'm going to make sure he's in on our rotations right away because I think that he's going to add some flexibility to us. And now, like I said, we can use him in our defensive tackle rotation too for when it comes down to players getting tired. Another change this week is our injuries have healed now. We no longer have anybody on our injury report. Irv Smith Jr. is back. So is Roy Lewis, the outside linebacker. And now we do have to make some spots on our roster for those two guys. It says I have only 53, but I know I have 54. And one of the guys that I know is going to be hitting the road is going to be Ben Barnes, because now that Smith is back, we have no need for a 4th tight end. I wish I could keep him on the active or on the practice squad, but he is 26 years old. He's too old for it, so we're just going to go ahead and cut him back into free agency. I do want to make some room on the practice squad for Lewis, though, since he is still eligible this year. So I'm going to go ahead and release Assad Miller, who didn't really ever see the field for us. And then we will go ahead and put Roy Lewis to the practice squad. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to make sure that Medical is here in the depth chart for us to use. Will Brayman's going to have to fall down a little bit here. Look at how good Medical is on the inside, though. 76 overall at D tackle. That's pretty cool. Dion Lewis is really working his way up to be somebody on this team. It's almost time for us to switch Dantzler and Hughes out, and I'm still close to trying to trade away Hughes before it's too little, too late. You know, we could just put Floyd Beckwith out there and just see if he sinks or swims. You know, so we are sitting atop the NFC North at 5-0. We are, you know, every other team is at 3-2. So this division is gonna be another tricky one this year. Now even the Lions are performing well. South, the Panthers are leading that 4-1. The Eagles leading at 3-2. And then, of course, the 49ers, who we're facing this week at 5-0, they've got a stranglehold on that division already, as not a single team is above 500. In the AFC, the Steelers are leading by a game in the North. The Texans, the only other undefeated team, leading in the South. The Dolphins leading, even though, wow, that's a bad division, both 2-3 at the top of the division. Raiders and Chiefs tied for 4-1. We did have two stories this week, and it actually changed the quarterback pool quite a bit. So Chris Whitfield from Boise State was sitting on the bench and now has been named the starter, and as you can see now has jumped all the way up 19 spots to be considered a first to second round talent at quarterback. And the other story is also a Whitfield, Ladarius Whitfield from Florida, saying he has been making the most of his opportunities as a grad transfer to Florida this year. And then just to reiterate, now that I have made the move for Kevin Menical, our draft is right now pretty much cemented at trying to land Clayton Jenkins. He is the only other confirmed round one projection outside of Jalen McCain. I know we're not going to get up high enough to be able to take McCain. Unless something crazy happens, but I just know it's not going to happen. I want Clayton Jenkins. Yes, Hunter and Binns are here as 1 to 2, but something is keeping Jenkins above them, and I want to find out what it is. So that is our target as of right now, and you can see we've got 45% completed on him. B tackle, C zone, B kick return, B hit power. Of course, we're going to learn more about his other ratings as we go along, but so far, I like what I see. And without further ado, I think it's time to get down to this 49ers game. We have already played them before, so not much has changed with their team. It's just time to play some football. This week, we got Monday Night Football as we return home to US Bank Stadium. We're taking on the 49ers. They as well have a very good defense, similar to last week with the Browns. But this week, we're trying to keep our win streak alive. Currently sitting at 5-0. One of us has to go home with a loss. The last time we saw this team, it did not go very well for us. If I remember correctly, Trey Lance absolutely killed us. And we went home with a loss. That was last season. This year, we are in our own stadium, though. And hopefully we can get this series tied up 1-1 against them for our Viking series here. Wearing the all-purple. Uh-oh. Listen for it. Yes, sir. Gallahorn sounding off. You know what that means. It's time for kickoff. We're going to start the day off trying to stop Trey Lance. 1,091 yards passing, 7 touchdowns to only 1 interception. He has had a pretty decent start so far through 5 games, but the story of this team has been the run game through their sims, as much as we saw with the Browns and with the Giants. Now, can we keep Sermon in check today? They're going to start off in a big throw and picked off by Mike Hughes. Right away, we put down our stamp on defense, and it's with the guy that I've been questioning all season long, and out comes Hopkins now. One play, we get it back. Of course, we know Hopkins has had a much better season so far than he's had in the past for us. Man, what a quick turnaround for us on defense. 1 interception on the season for Lance. His first pass against us goes for a pick. And now let's see, can we get on the board here quickly against San Francisco? Handoff. No, we keep it. And, oh, man, that was just an absolute horrible play call. And a handoff to Whiting. And Whiting not able to get anything either. And right now, it's looking like we're going to waste this opportunity down here in the red zone. 3rd and goal. Finally going to throw it. Hopkins got time. It's breaking down, and he takes a sack instead of throwing it away. Once again, could not find any openings. Yeah, everybody's just covered, just sitting there. Looks like we called a bunch of like spot routes, you know, and there was just no holes in the zone. Good job by the 49ers defense, and they're going to get off the field with a win after that interception. Trey Lance definitely hoping for a better outcome on this drive. Fortunately for them, we weren't able to capitalize, and they are only down by 3, which is obviously a good thing for what could have been. And now first play, they're going to go to Sermon on the ground, and Sermon up across the 20, gain of 4. 16 carries, 66 yards, but don't let that fool you. He's got almost 500 yards on the season already, which means he's been averaging just shy of 100 yards per game. 2nd and 6 here for Lance out of the shotgun. And they're going to set up the screen, and once again, defensive pressure forces the early throw and an incompletion. Even though we know Lance is better than that, it's nice to get him off rhythm early. Hopefully that can leak into the rest of the game. 3rd and 6, and he has to throw it quickly, but no, he gets it on the money there to Brandon Ayuk across over to the right side on the sideline there, and that's going to be a first down. Bunch formation split out to the left. Lance steps up and fires a bullet to Deebo Samuel, who makes the catch out to the 38-yard line. And that right there, him moving around is what we have to worry about. Lance looking again, fires, he's got Kittle. And oh, we get the fumble, and it's Whitehead again, forcing the fumble on not just anybody, but George Kittle. We had 4 turnovers in the first half and made 0 opportunities out of it. We got to change that this game. Hopkins back. Lets it go, caught, it's Jefferson streaking down the sideline, inside the 15 to the 12, a 26-yard strike on our first completion of the drive. And now we got to find a way in the end zone here. 2 turnovers, we have to be able to capitalize. Handoff, Glover tries to make a move, and it's not going to work. Marcus Kelly hurt on the play. That's the guy who had the sack on the last drive. And we'll see here if he goes to the sideline or to the locker room. And he's just going to the sideline. 3 wide, Irv Smith in on the left side of the formation. Hopkins looking, stepping out, looking, and just throws it away. Nobody open. Once again, some solid defense by the 49ers. And speaking of the re-signs, this secondary was pretty much re-signed this offseason. Or this, oh boy, another big sack. Man, we are going to have a hard day today. What I was trying to say is, their secondary was all re-signed this past week during my running of the teams. They re-signed both of their safeties, of course, their defensive end. Marcus Kelly also, I believe, got a new contract. Obviously not as lucrative as Nick Bosa's, but this defense is ready to be together for a while at their cornerstone positions. And we're going to have to settle for another field goal. That's what a good defense does for you, though. Now we have to actually put together a series of plays to get downfield if we want to add more points. A handoff to Glover, which goes absolutely nowhere. I went ahead and put some short turf tape on Glover so I can tell when he's in compared to Pitts. Throw over the middle, caught Irv Smith, his first catch back, and he's got us a first down to the 47-yard line. And we're going to throw out of the set. And Hopkins does not get rid of it. Well, he does, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. 4 receivers spread out. Wilcox at the bottom of your screen. And it goes over the middle to Jefferson, who makes the catch across midfield down to the 45. And is going to make it much more simple here. 3rd and 2. And we're going to go back to the ground game. And Glover with a nice little cutback there. Finds his way across the first down marker. Gets us the fresh set of downs. Although the run itself wasn't spectacular, it was exactly what we needed. And now 1st and 10 again. Shotgun formation, more of a pistol look. Hopkins under pressure, gets rid of it, and it is caught by Whiting, who skips by 1 tackler and gets out of bounds at the 26-yard line. A nice job there. 1st and 10. Hopkins looking, lets it go deep down the sideline, and it is incomplete. You know, those routes, those one-on-ones, I mean, you got to throw them sooner, you know, like, where at least it's a better chance for the receiver. Hopkins dumps it down to Glover, who will get 5 on the play. Irv Smith split to the left in the slot. Hopkins, of course, going to throw, and he's going to the end zone again, but he overthrows it, and it's out of bounds, and Quentin Nelson is hurt, and he's on the ground. Oh, no. I don't even know what this means. Oh, boy. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean he's, like, done long-term? Usually they just see him sitting on the sideline, but that one he's laying on a bed. Oh, man. And we have to settle for another field goal. They're already in field goal range. but you think they're going to want more. So they're going to take a shot here. And, oh, it's intercepted again by Mike Hughes. He just laid on the turf. He's like, I'm not even going to try to get up. I'm just going to relax until somebody touches me. Second pick of the day, Mike Hughes coming through in the clutch. Another diving. You didn't even have to dive for that, man. That was extra. But hey, we'll take it. It looks cool. And yeah, third turnover of the day, 2 picks. Yet we don't have a touchdown. This is eerily similar to the Ravens game. Handoff, Glover trying to get outside, but Pierman, the free safety, doing a very good job of taking on the blocks and not giving him a lane. Here on second down, it's going to be another handoff to Glover, who just turns and runs straight into Nick Bosa's arms. Not really sure the idea of the approach there. But, you know, it is what it is. 3rd and 9. Hopkins is looking over the middle, and he throws an interception. Fred Warner turning it upfield. Nobody's going to stop him. Touchdown, but there is a flag down on the play, and we got to wait to see what it is before we get too excited. And they're looking at Armstead. Oh, boy, no way. A roughing the passer that not only negates the touchdown, but also the interception and the 4th down coming up because it was 3rd and 9. Once again, we get bailed out by the refs on that play, and now we need to take advantage of that. Oscar Pitts in the backfield, a handoff to him, and Pitts shoving Warner down, but luckily for the Niners, Greenlaw was trailing right behind him, brought down after a yard. And now on second, we are going to spread him out once again. Irv Smith lined up in the slot to the left side. Kenny Williams above him. Hopkins looking, and he lets it go, looking for Williams. Got Williams. Down inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Another nice catch. Every time Williams gets involved in that route, or in that formation, we always end up going to him. Oh, no. Armstead was, wow. We have been absolutely shut down in the run game today. Like, severely shut down. 2nd and 12. Like, we should just stop trying shut down. Uh-oh, under pressure. He gets rid of it deep down the right side, and it is caught by Irv Smith on the sideline, working against Emmanuel Mosley, and it's going to be a 1st and goal for us at the 5. Hopkins does a great job of putting this where only Smith can get it, and Smith concentrating on getting his feet down. It looks like he's got 2 down, and that is going to be another big play for us. Now, can we capitalize? Pitts lined up in the backfield, I formation. And we are going to hand it off to Pitts, and Pitts almost gets to the end zone. Brought down at the 1-yard line. I thought he was going to go over, but he will not. And now, once again, we spread it out. Oh, boy. Whiting is all alone. Let's see what Pierman does here. Oh, no, we hand it off to Glover, who walks in untouched. And there is our first touchdown of the day, as we are going to go up 16-0 here at the top of the 2nd quarter. Okay, so it is, in fact, me skipping halftime that changes the side of the field we're playing on. So I didn't do it this game. I don't know why. I just let it play out. It was a very long and boring thing. That really needs to be adjusted, Madden. But anyway, now we have the same field position we're supposed to have. 1st and 10. Hopkins, a quick throw outside to a wide open Glover. And Glover able to get out to the 39. A very nice play. I just wish we were able to find some running room, but this D-line is just so good. As we find a decent lane for running room. Okay. Best run of the day, 5 yards. 8 carries, 10 yards. That's got to be the worst average I've ever seen on one of my teams. 2nd and 5. Hopkins back, looking. Lets it go just in time, and he's got Peoples over to the 41, a 1st down. Only his 2nd catch of the day. It's been a bigger day for Justin Jefferson and even Irv Smith. But I like that. You know, I don't want it just to be one receiver every single week. So nice to see that we switch it up a little bit. A nice throw. There it is. Justin Jefferson again. And he's down to the 31. And if you guys are seeing a different play call set than you've seen in the past, I did choose medium passing this week. I knew from the start that we were not going to be able to run the ball well against these guys. And I just sort of, you know, accepted that defeat and decided to go with medium pass to hopefully be able to take advantage of what this Green Bay playbook has in terms of play calling. Handoff to Glover, and Glover fighting his way through traffic down to the 22, a gain of 9. That was a nice run. Now 2nd and 1. And, a play action. Hopkins dumps it down to Whiting. Whiting slips free from 1 and gets shoved out of bounds at the 10. We're going to throw it here on 1st down. Hopkins goes short, caught out of bounds at the 3. And it's a pitch left side, and not a shred of blocking. There was a group of 4 Vikings all sitting down at the goal line without a single block being done, while 4 rushers from the 49ers just destroyed our running back in the backfield. That was a sad attempt at blocking. Wow, 3rd and 8. Hopkins to the end zone, caught, touchdown. Derek Wilcox gets his first touchdown in quite some time. He just sat there on the hitch route, used his big body to shield off the defender, and gets us another score, as now we are going to go up 26-3 here in the 3rd quarter. 17 yards for us, 16 for them on the ground. Neither one of these teams is giving an inch. 3rd and 9. Lance trying to take the top off the defense downfield. He's got a man, and it's caught by Ayuk, and he is brought down at the 1-yard line, going up over the top of Cam Dantzler. It looked like Dantzler just never really found where the ball was. Beautiful throw by Lance. Oh, wow. Yeah, he split the safety there. Curl took the outside, which gave him the outside release on Dantzler. And then, yeah, Dantzler was just a half a second too late to go up for the ball. Ayuk already was going up and had the positioning on it. Huge turnaround for San Francisco. Desperately needed here. Let's see if they can get in the end zone for the first time. Handoff Sermon, and he's in. Touchdown, reaching across the goal line. Nice play. And finally, they can get a touchdown. And now with the score being the way it is, they've opted to go for 2. And Sermon is not able to get it. 1st and 10 here. Last chance for the 49ers to at least make this game look a little bit more fair, as Lance is chilling in the pocket. He's going to bomb this thing deep down the field. Hail Mary time, and it's batted down. And at this point, being at their own 15, you know they're just going to chuck this thing up for a Hail Mary. And it's either going to be an incompletion, probably getting a pass interference here eventually. We haven't had one of those in a while. I hope I didn't just jinx it. No, I didn't jinx it. Okay, that's good. End of the game. I don't know, guys. We might be onto something here. 6-0 start. We just taken out one of the only 3 remaining unbeaten teams. Make it 2 remaining. Wait for the... Almost cut it off. Had to stop talking for a second. But there it is. It was a tough game. It seemed more tough than what the score looks like, but our offense struggled on the ground. Thankfully, Taylor Hopkins came to play today. 340 yards. 25 of 30 throwing the ball, no turnovers, and we come out on top to move to 6-0. Another win in the books for us. We moved to 6-0. Another very tough matchup. Man, we really might be onto something this year, guys. We are sitting at 6-0. We have taken on some very high overall teams. You know, San Francisco this week, the Browns defense the week before, the Ravens, even Washington. Most of our games have been against very competitive teams, and now we are about to go on a 3-game NFC North stretch. Let's see here. Let's take a look at our schedule. So we are about to take on the Lions next week, then the Bears and the Packers, and then we go into our bye week. If we can get through these 3 teams and go into the bye week at 9-0, wow. I mean, that's gonna be something. So we have 3 very important games, because not only for playoff seeding, but division seeding and all that sort of fun stuff. We need to, I would say, at least get 2 of these games. It's always going to be tough when you're playing your division opponent. I'm not sure if we're going to watch them all. I'm not sure what I want to really do yet. We might end up simming 1 or 2. I know I want to watch the Packers game, because that's always a big game. I would like to do the Bears. We didn't watch the Bears last year, so maybe we're probably just going to play them all, unless we lose. We'll see. Maybe I sim past the Lions. I don't know yet. But I know I want to see the Bears in the Packers game. And I really don't want to sim and take a loss that way. I'd rather us watch the loss, if that makes sense. I'd rather us lose that way. I don't want to let the sim make that decision for us. Okay, so we have just gotten to week 7. The Lions are 4-2. They must have beaten the, I think it was, who was it that they were taking on last week? Well, we'll find out. Let's just go and look at that right away. Going back to week 6 to take a look at the rest of the game's matchups, the Packers took on the Bengals and ended up walking away with a close win. Another shootout. Packers defense does not seem to be playing very well this year. Pittsburgh blows out the Ravens. Atlanta upsets the Bears. Atlanta, I think, was like 1-4 before that. The Texans also lost, which means now we are the only unbeaten team left. They lost to the Jets. Detroit beat the football team. The Buccaneers beat the Patriots. The Jaguars destroyed the Titans. The Colts destroyed the Rams. Arizona sneaks one out with a 3-point victory over the New Orleans. Kansas City takes it to Denver. That's not surprising. The Giants and Eagles, 2-point difference. And Eagles take it away. Carolina beats the Bills to move on. I think they're 5-1 now. They've been really good this year. Of course, our game, and then the Las Vegas Raiders continue their winning streak. They are 5-1 now after beating the Chargers 14-10. Now let's take a look at the Jaguars here. This is a team that I've been trying to follow a little bit. And look at Trevor Lawrence finally being a quarterback now. 248 yards, 3 touchdowns. Davis Mills for the Titans did not do too bad, but he did have the interception. Took 5 sacks. So there's that. James Robinson still being his awesome self. The Jaguars. Wow, look at that. Adams only had 4 catches for 54 yards. They have a lot of weapons on that team. Josh Franklin having a big day for the Steelers. And this is another guy who just re-signed. They re-signed him to a 5-year deal worth, I believe, like $80 million, I think it was, to be their quarterback of the future. Well, he's already was their quarterback, but to stay there. And as you can see here, he's having a good day. He's going to probably help bring the Steelers back up. There's a lot of good quarterbacks going on around this league. I almost wonder if I should just run through the roster itself with quarterbacks to show you guys how stacked this series really is at quarterbacks. Let's take a look at the Washington and Lions game since we will be playing the Lions this week. So Watson had a decent day. Caleb Byron did not. 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 75.9 rating. Kenneth Gainwell led the way with the most carries. Oh, I forgot. I think Kareem Hunt, is he hurt? I think he might be hurt or something. Yeah, he is. He's hurt. That's why you see Justin Barton getting in, 3rd-year running back with 2 touchdowns. TJ Hawkinson's, of course, still their leading guy. This year, we're going to get to face Odell Beckham Jr. I think that's the first time on this channel that we'll be facing him, as he is part of the Detroit Lions in this series. Here is a story from around the league that I forgot about. Eric Kendricks, the left end for the Washington football team, had a breakout scenario against the Lions. So even though they lost the game, they did not allow 100 yards rushing. So Hendricks is going to end up going to star dev. Now let's take a look at our QB breakout here that we've had. I'm not sure what this is about. This must be a chance for, Hopkins to go to X Factor, I'm assuming. Let's see. Throw 1 or fewer interceptions and have 400 scrimmage yards or 4 total touchdowns with Taylor Hopkins to increase his dev trait to Superstar X Factor. That is going to be difficult to do. Maybe not the interceptions part, but 400 yards? Wow. Well, now we have to play the Lions because we got to see if we can get Hopkins to X Factor. We have a couple of more players available now for re-signs. I don't know what we're going to do with Jalen Smith yet, but it is going to wait until after the season. Whiting is a very interesting one. I could bring back Deontay Whiting. He has really stepped up a lot this year for us. I'm just not sure if I don't know if he's somebody that's needed, if he's the only guy who could do what he's doing right now, So I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with him yet. I'm going to hold off for now and see what he does the rest of the season. And if he continues to ball out, then we'll have to, of course, consider re-signing him. But we have so many guys at the wide receiver position as well. I would hate to see them fall down when, maybe they can be better than Whiting. Like Kenny Williams. maybe he should have a shot playing more snaps, you know? So for now, we're going to leave this alone and Jalen Smith alone. But that's all I got for you guys today. Next time out, we'll be taking on the Detroit Lions in Detroit, who are currently 4-2 and number 2 in our division. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, please consider subscribing if you're not already. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about our start here. A 6-0 start, best start on this franchise, period. I know that for a fact. And let me know what you guys think about the trade I made for Medical. I mean, obviously he's not going to have a game-to-game impact, but you never know what he could be. Let me know what you guys think of that, and I'll see you guys next time.